In this videos, guys, we're gonna show you guys how to determine the limit of any function here now. So we have to ask ourselves, what is a limit? Well, now if you're gonna try to solve one function here, then there has to be one limit on what on where it stops at a given point. Like for example here, like if you have this graph here, one point over here, and this is going to be a point 2, and that x is going to be 2. And let's say this function is f of x. Now, if you're going to try to find the limit as x approaches to 2 of f of x, that's going to be 2. Now, the limit here is where it stops at this given point. So, now if you're going to try to find other, now there are many other concepts on where you have to find what type of problems we need to know in order to find limit. For example, let's figure out this first part here. Now the limit as x approaches to, let's say, c, a constant c, which gives us c. Right? Now that means, like we say graph here, let's say you have a constant function like this. This is 2. C could be like any number. Like it could be 2, it could be 2 or whatever. I think we'll just put 2 here. C is going to be 2. Like any number, or it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 100, it could be infinity, whatever. As long as your function is going to be to a graph, which is going to be 2. Alright? Now another one here, like for this other one here, let's say the limit. Now for this scenario here, the other rule here is find the limit as x approaches to, let's say, any number L in regards to b of x, which is going to be equal to bc. Alright? Now, pretty much common, like for example this one here, let's say you have a linear graph here and then you plug this function in, it's going to give you 2. Same thing as for this one here. Now, another ones are like, for example, like infinite limits. Now, the infinite limits in this case will any function that the limit as x approaches to infinity, either positive or negative, of either function approaches equals to what number, but you gotta know the function. Like for example here, if you have a linear graph, let's say this one over here, in this scenario here, now the limit, sorry about that guys, the limit here as x approaches to infinity of f of x, like this function here is f of x, is going to give you infinity. Why? Because if this approaches to infinity, this is going to be also a big, huge number, right? It could be 1,000, it could be 100,000, whatever, but it will be big. Same thing with with the limit as x approaches to infinity of f of x, negative infinity. Now, if it's negative infinity, well, this is going to get more smaller, which is when if you go to infinity like this way here, your y value, this is where it gets more smaller. In this case, negative infinity. Okay, let's continue on with doing other ones involving with infinite limits. As x approaches to infinity, either positive or negative, of then here, if it's either positive or negative, this is going to be infinity. Now if it's now if you have the same number, if you have one number and this number the same, like for example, the limit as x approaches to infinity in regards to 5 of x plus 2 over 5 of x, your limit here in this case is going to be 1. Because here you're gonna have approximately that same value as this one here, making this value equal to 1, making it more precise on getting it close to 1. Well, this is all I have for you guys. Hopefully you learned and understand this video, and see you guys later.